reasonable, and something that has time to it. I believe that has merit, but I'd like to go one step further. I'd like to add a few more distinctions that I know can help you achieve the goals that you set out for. Number one, specific. Each individual has a set of priorities in life, a set of values in life that they live their life by. Anytime they set a goal that is aligned and congruent specifically with the highest value that they have the highest probability of obtaining and achieving the goal. So when they talk about specific in SMART, specific means one that is truly congruent and aligned with what you value most. That's where you have the highest intrinsic value to call you into action and to have you driven to do it, not because of outside motivation, not because of incentives, not because of punishment rewards, but because of an intrinsic yearning to want to go and express and master the goal. So setting a goal that's specific to the highest value, looking carefully at what your life demonstrates is truly most important in your life, that's the one that you're going to achieve most efficiently. Now, when it comes to, again, measurable, what's interesting is it's wise to make sure you set goals that are chunked down into small enough bites that you are able to take action without hesitancy. And measuring it is making sure you have something to metric the progress that you make and to be able to know when you're making progress, to be able to hone yourself in or on track with that goal. So measurable is important, metrics are important, but also making sure you break it down into smaller bites so you have milestones to see that you're on track and to know when you're often on track obtaining it. So measurable is important, but again, it must be linked to the highest values. When in your area of your highest values, that's when your brain is most aware, it's able to make decisions most quickly, and it's able to act most efficiently. So making sure that it's specific to your highest values, make sure it's measurable and metriced, broken down to keep you on track with your highest values. Then you want to make sure it's attainable. Attainable or aligned with the highest values is another way of saying it. If you are doing something that's high in your value, you will pursue it regardless of pain and pleasure. It's so important to you. The burning desire, the calling inside will make you do it regardless of the challenges. And that's obtainable or attainable. Attainable means that it's broken down into action steps so you know methodically if you just keep doing this, you're going to build momentum, you're going to get what you want. You want to make sure that it's not fantasies. Fantasies are things that are not obtainable and they're things that are not congruent with your highest value or they haven't been strategized and broken down into small enough bites to be able to know what actions to take. But if you do something specific, something that's measurable, something that's aligned or attainable, you're going to increase the probability of achieving it. The next thing is basically realistic and making sure that it's real. Again, this is something that is not something that's outside in fantasy land, but something that you know is aligned to your values, something that's objective, something you can see a strategy on doing it. Because sometimes people come to me and say, well, that's fantasy. There's no way you can do that. And then as long as you have a strategy on how you can do it, even if it's massive goals. So it's not the magnitude so much as long as you take that magnificent goal and break it down into small enough bites that are realistic to obtain step by step by step. It's like the domino effect. If you knock off a little domino, it can knock off a bigger domino, it can knock over a bigger domino, and it can get a massive accomplishment with little action steps that build momentum. So you make sure that you do it in a sense that's realistic in that way. And then giving it a time. If without a time, without a deadline on there, you probably won't act as efficiently. Even though it may be aligned to your values, giving yourself a time frame allows you to structure and organize and prioritize your time usage to get the most done in the least amount of effort. If you prioritize your daily actions on a daily basis and do the highest priority actions to achieve the highest priority goals, you end up having the highest degree of fulfillment in life. So the old adage about being smart, that's specific and measurable and attainable and realistic and timely, it's all accurate. But you want to make sure more than anything is to make sure that the goals are truly aligned to your highest value. Make sure the goals are yours. Subordinating to people on the outside and injecting expectations, goals, and values from others that are not truly aligned to yours can make you set yourself up for what I call the self-depreciation response. You end up beating yourself up because you don't really have an intrinsic calling to act on it. And you're trying to go after a goal that's not as meaningful as you like to fantasize. This is not the way you achieve the greatness that you deserve. It's by identifying what's truly most important to you and stick to your core competence and start with what you know and let what you know grow in achieving. And if you do, you'll build momentum and your core competence will expand and you're capable of doing even more with your goals. But set goals that are basically specific to the highest values, that are basically measurable and metric, so you make sure you're making progress on it, make sure that they're aligned and attainable, and make sure that they're actually realistic and something that you won't forget, you'll remember them, and something that is realistically timed and done in a situation where you have an urgency to go and act. At the end of that push that you have, you'll end up saying thank you. And it feels great when you get a lot done in a short period of time. Anytime you're doing the highest priority actions in a day, your self-worth goes up and you want to go and accomplish more and set more goals and bigger goals and expand the time horizon. And anytime you're doing lower priority things, you do just the opposite, you shrink. So if you want to expand and do something magnificent, instead of shrink and do something insignificant, prioritize your goals, make sure that they're aligned with your highest values, and be smart.